Good morning, everyone. I wanted to do a little review to help you out with your psychological skills assessment. So don't forget, tomorrow you have anywhere between 5:30 in the morning and I believe it's like 11:30 at night to go on and take your Hallmark psychological skills assessment. Um, the assessment will be matching up a strategy for improving a skill, and you'll have to pick which of the six psychological skills listed that is a strategy for. So, if you look at your psychological skills profile, we've covered, except for visualization and imagery, which started today. So, make sure you go on Blackboard and look at this week's discussion and there's a video. Look at that for visualization and imagery because that will be another one that you have to match up. So the six that will be listed, there are 30 times that you need to pick which strategy matches which psychological skill. And these are the six strategies that are listed on your psychological skills profile. So for each of the 30 questions, you will have a choice between confidence, self-talk, anxiety management, concentration, visualization and imagery, and motivation. And so, for instance, if you were to see the strategy listed, performance accomplishments, recalling previous accomplishments, you would need to pick which of these six psychological skills is that a strategy that you would implement to improve that. And of course, under confidence, the primary source of confidence or self-efficacy is recalling previous performance accomplishments. And so all along as we've covered these psychological skills, I have encouraged you to fill those out. Each of these boxes should be filled in with very specific strategies and techniques that you have drawn from the chapters. So this would be your biggest tool to prepare yourself for tomorrow. Also remember, just like the other exams, once you start, you have 75 minutes to complete it, and you cannot start it and then come back to it again. And there won't be any makeup, so make sure that you go on and do that tomorrow. So let's take a look. Under confidence, you should have for sure all six of Dr. Albert Bandura's sources of self-efficacy, including performance accomplishments in the past, vicarious experience modeling, verbal persuasion, imaginal experiences. And then in the back of that chapter on confidence, it lists a lot of other things that you can do to improve confidence, like simply think and act with confidence, etc. There's not a specific chapter, as I've told you before, devoted just to self-talk, although the biggest chunk of self-talk comes from our chapter on focus and concentration, because as I've said before, the number one distraction is negative self-talk. So under self-talk, we talked about in order for self-talk to be effective, we need to keep our phrases short and specific. And we talked about using cue words. The self-talk is positive, negative, instructional. So you can use the cue words that are either positive and or motivational, and also instructive, as if you're a coach in your own head, giving yourself something to say to yourself. I had you come up with a cue word, what makes you unique and special. That was a cue word to make you think of yourself in a positive way. We also need to use non-judgmental thinking, and you need to speak kindly to yourself with positive affirmations. And so if you're using negative self-talk, you need to change those negative tapes to positive tapes. Under anxiety management, two of the things that are the simplest and the most effective are simply practicing breath control and smiling. We've also talked about techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, identifying optimal arousal regulated emotions, preparing yourself with simulations so that you can be prepared for unexpected circumstances and know how to handle it and react to it in a more positive, constructive way, and use stress inoculation, and also the use of progressive muscle relaxation. Under concentration, what's most important is just to practice eye control. We've talked about how to park thoughts. We've talked about focus on the relevant environmental cues. It helps to establish routines because it gives us something to focus on, and we need to remain fully focused on the task at hand. Under visualization and imagery, the two factors and you'll see this again on the final exam, in order for visualization and imagery to be effective, it must be vivid and controllable. And in order to make it very vivid, you need to bring in all of the senses, as if you're the movie director producing a movie in your mind so that it comes alive. Use the triple code model, that acronym ISM, I for the image itself, S for somatic response, and M is the meaning that's attached to that image. Some people are naturally good at visualizing and some are not, and so it's really valuable if you might consider the use of using video or audio. And when you're visualizing, be sure that you include not only the execution but also the outcome. So just go back and really make sure that you watch my video on discussion board about visualization and imagery, and always refer back to the study guide with some of the important concepts and strategies I have listed there. And then lastly, under motivation, it's very important to emphasize task goals and to applaud your successes along the way, enhance feelings of competence and control. It's very important to set realistic goals. And then also, when we're setting our goals, break those goals down into manageable increments. So we have short-term goals and even daily goals along the way. And then imagine the end result. And as I've emphasized over and over and over again, always remember the why, because the why is what fuels you and keeps you motivated as you proceed towards your goals. Good luck. I know you all will do great, and I hope you have a fantastic day.